What is up, everybody? 412 Sports Cards here today, back with another video. It's been a long time. It's been over 3 months, I think. I'm sorry. It's been a long time since I've made a video, but we are back. That's what matters. And today, we're going to kind of get into, I think, and I'm not promising that it's going to be multiple videos a week like it used to be, but I want to get back to closer to a video a week, certainly a video every 2 weeks for you guys. We're going to talk more about just the stuff that I want to hear, the stuff that I would want to hear content being made of. That's what this channel's always been about, but it's shifted a bit. And today, we are going to be talking about collecting sports cards while being a hyper saver, being very focused on being a saver, being disciplined with your money, putting aside money for a brighter future. That's something that's very important to me, and at times that can really contrast with the desires to be a sports card collector. And I think that's something that I've seen almost no content on. I listen to a lot of podcasts, I watch a lot of videos. It's not talked about. There's no way I'm the only one who's had these kind of thoughts, these kind of struggles, staying on a budget while collecting cards. And we're going to get into it. I'm going to lay out the foundation. I'm not saying I've got all the perfect answers, but I think that people can enjoy and learn from my story. So here goes nothing. It kind of starts that when I got into cards, first 10 years of time in cards, I sold nothing. Then from 2016 to 2022, I got into flipping. The market was hot. I had a lot of fun doing it. It was fun, got cards in, got cards out, saw a lot of cards, used it to level up my collection, right? Here, pictured in the back, are two kind of crown jewels of that process I got. First of all, this is the epitome of all. I think this here is the crown jewel of all the card collecting, flipping work that I did in that 2016 to 2022 period. I mean, when you put it in perspective like that, it really is like, this took me a long time to get. But it produced a lot of results. Awesome cards. Something like this that might be considered more of a classic nice card, and something that to me was a great card, a PC card that I really enjoy. One of my favorite cards in my collection. But times are different now. And if you aren't buying at shows well below comps, you're probably not making consistent money. It's not easy. And cards for me are a hobby, especially, having a full-time job that ranges between, I'd say, 40 to 65 hours a week, depending upon the time of year. I don't really want to be putting my spare hours into that kind of an effort. It's just not what I'm feeling myself drawn to. It was more fun when I could do it off my phone and just, get cards in the mail, work out of my mailbox. Harder to do that. But I want to be off the cuff, and I don't want to be overly scripted. I want to talk about how the struggle is of collecting in today's market, because that's what I'm doing right now. I would not consider myself to be flipping at all right now. And I do sometimes buy stuff. I don't buy stuff if I don't feel like it's a decent buy, right? That it's at a decent price. Like, we can look through some of my mail, and I guess there's more time for this later. But, buying something like this 57 Topps Willie Mays. I bought it because it was a decent buy, too, right? Like, I really wanted a Willie Mays, but this one looked so good, and for the price, I was like, yeah, that's something I'm really interested in. So it factors in kind of market dynamics are always at play for me when I'm buying, but I'm collecting, and collecting is expensive. And the main struggle. Also, drop a like, drop a sub if you're watching this. I appreciate you guys watching this video. It's going to be a little more long form, so feel free, empty your dishwasher, fold your laundry, listen to a podcast style in the background, but be sure to swing back on over to your phone, hit that like button, and maybe drop a comment if you feel so inclined. But the struggle is it's hard to get that same inflow and outflow of your collection from a card standpoint without being able to flip as easily from your phone like I was able to. Buying and selling on eBay. It's hard to get that movement without being able to go to shows, buy real low. And you come to a crossroads, right? Because I'm coming from the perspective of someone who gets to the end of being able to make the easy money that was in cards, and that funded a lot of the leveling up of my collection. And I get to the end, and there's two choices. You spend more and well, there's actually a couple. You spend more, you buy less, or you sell what's in your collection to pay for more new stuff. Neither of those is particularly exciting, but as you guys are going to be able to tell, and we'll do a quick recap, while the market has been, less able for me to flip, I'm still buying cards because it's what I really enjoy doing. It's my favorite hobby, I'd say. I mean, aside from like being physically active, running, playing basketball, this is my favorite hobby. I don't read that much. I don't do a lot of other things, but I really do enjoy cards. But we got stuff like these first and second year cup base cards, Marc-Andre Fleury. Cool cards. Got those in the mail. Got this Marc-Andre Fleury Dominion patch. Absolutely awesome. Out of 25. By the way, this is an A+ design. So, to those of you who are watching through this whole video, that's a sick one. And then I got more stuff. Charles Leclerc Sapphire PSA 10. Pretty cheap price these days. Really enjoy watching F1. Picked it up. 53 or 57 Topps Willie Mays PSA 3. Let's take a moment to appreciate how awesome this card is, by the way. Look at that. Super cool. 72 Topps Roberto Clemente. Not as well centered as the Willie Mays, but technically better. Super sweet 2013 tribute Andrew McCutcheon, originally sealed. And this awesome Malkin patch out of 25. These cards are incredible. But those are my pickups, right? Since the last time you've seen me. I mean, there have been other ones, but those are most of them. That's all since the last time you saw me record a video. That's a lot of money. And it's come from selling a lot of my PC. I've sold a lot of my PC, guys. I've done it to buy new PC. I've done it to kind of keep alive the cycling of my inventory. No, not my inventory, but my collection. To keep it alive. To keep myself being able to buy those cards that pop up on eBay or pop up on an IG story. And I'm like, yeah, I need that card. I've been funding it a lot by selling from my PC, but it's problematic. I'd say 50% of the cards that I really want right now, and that I want the most, maybe more than 50%, because they're all at the top of my want list, are cards I've already owned. And I'm just going to rattle them off. 52 Topps Jackie Robinson. Near the top of my want list. It's extremely high. I want it back. 2019 Concourse Giannis Antetokounmpo tie-dye. I miss that card. My favorite Giannis card. I know it's just a generic tie-dye. I know it's not a rookie year. But it doesn't matter to me. It was one of my favorite cards. I sold it so I could buy other stuff. I want it back. And then this, which I wanted back and I spent over a year looking for and then finally got back. Not graded. I probably will grade it. But a Fleury PMG. I sold this one. And I regretted it. Guys, that's the problem. The selling to fund your PC, it sounds good. And it does work. It does help whittle away. But it's really hard. Because I feel like I've found that the cards I end up wanting the most are cards that I had and then sold, and I just want them back. And it's kind of not a great feeling as a collector for all the cards on your want list to be cards that you already had, but then you sold. It's really tough. And those are the cards that were the bottom of the barrel, by the way, keep in mind, when I went to phase out my PC. Those were the cards that didn't make the cut. And there's still ones I want back so desperately. So selling from the PC to fund it, it's really hard. I've done it. Sometimes I do it with a lot of success. I sell cards and I have no remorse. Sometimes I have a lot of remorse. But it's definitely not a foolproof method. But at the same time, I'm not made of money. And even if I was, as someone who's so young, I realize the power of compounding interest. I realize the power of compounded growth. Sports cards, I do not view as a long-term investment the same way I view as stocks and other things like that can compound, create meaningful wealth in the 40 to 50 year time horizon. I don't view cards that same way. I don't treat I'm not taking money from my paycheck and putting it into sports cards as my long-term investment. I don't think many people are trying to do that. We're not trying to retire off cards. I'm taking care of my savings needs and my savings needs for the short term and the long term before I get to cards. And I want to put as much of my savings and as much in my long-term savings as I possibly can. So I don't just want to dump in tons of money, abandon savings, abandon saving up for a down payment on a house to buy cards, right? Cards are not a primary need of, of my life and probably of yours, but it's something that I really enjoy. So, it gets a high priority in terms of my discretional spending, but at the same time, I try to limit that discretional spending, But that's not to say it's not important to spend on the things that you enjoy, and for me, cards is definitely one of them, but I've been trying to find ways to kind of reach a happy medium, to save some money and buy cards that I enjoy. It's kind of led me towards 2020 Prism throwbacks, those flashback silvers. It was a really cool set. I've always liked that set. I'm contemplating buying some cheaper base rookies, but at the same time, I want to avoid that clutter and avoid that oversized PC that I fought to whittle down into awesome cards like this and like this. And we're back where we started, right? It's push and pull, push and pull. It's very difficult. But I've learned, I think probably, and this is probably the highlight of this video for me, is I've learned to appreciate a lot of the cheaper stuff in my PC, right? I'm realizing how difficult it is to find those cheaper cards that really are just perfect for you. And you really, really enjoy. And I've got 3 examples. It's Crosby McDavid canvas card. First appearance of them together on a card. Probably $15. Maybe $20. Maybe $30. Who knows? I love this card. Not super expensive, but at the same time, when I spent $15 to $20 on this, I didn't feel like I added clutter. I didn't feel like I added junk that nobody really would want in the future, that I didn't enjoy. No, I really enjoy it, and it's a very cool card to have. This fits the bill, right? And it makes you realize that these types of cards are so hard to come by. Here's another one. It's 2006 Frozen in Time Crosby from Trilogy at a $9.99. Fits the bill. I have displayed this card, and look at that, you guys. Look at that ice design. I've displayed this on my desk for months. It's in the frequent rotation of cards that make the displaying on my desk. And it was like $20, maybe less. It fits that bill perfectly. And this is another one. Slightly more expensive. Been around my collection since this Stratus set came out. And was this 15? Yeah. These cards, man. Together, these cards are comfortably under $100. And they bring me a lot of joy. Finding these is really hard. I think maybe a big lesson to take away from this is that the hunt for these types of cards is every bit as meaningful, and maybe in today's sports card climate, and with how hard it is to collect on a budget, it might be even harder than the hunt for cards like this, because everyone knows what these types of cards are, right? Cup RPA, big card, and it's easy, but it's really, and you'll like it because it's got a lot of good stuff going for it. But cards like this, that meet you right where you are, meet your budget right where it is, meet your collecting needs, they're a lot harder to find. That's a great way to collect on a budget, is to treat that hunt with every bit of the same care, the same intentionality, and the same diligence that you treat a lot of other hunts. Worth noting, I think this is why this has quickly become one of my favorite cards in my PC. It's a top 5 card in my entire collection, regardless of price. And the fact that I got it for what I got it for, like a relatively affordable rate for such an awesome card in such a high rank in my PC, makes me appreciate cards like this even more. Just awesome. Another thing to do, guys, is just to spend more time with your PC. Enjoy it. Even if you're doing stuff like engaging in a break. I engage periodically in breaks. Costs like $50 maybe. Sometimes by my team. Bought into an Artifacts one not that long ago. some base. Got this Chris Letang out of 25, this Evgeny Malkin out of 4.99, and this Chris Letang jersey card. These are not huge cards. I would not buy them on my own. I was hoping to get something bigger, but it was fun to partake in, and you enjoy the cards like this when they come in, right? You spend some time with them, you enjoy them. That's the best thing that you can do, is just spend some time with the PC, sorting the PC, get creative displaying it, just change the way you're displaying the cards that you have. Mix up within your own collection how you're enjoying them as much as you possibly can. I think that's crucial to collecting on a budget in the modern market. But nothing's perfect, and I'm not going to try to say it is. It's a battle that we all have as a collector. The battle between collecting and saving, it's so difficult. It's a tough road to walk. And I think that maybe drop in the comments if you have any personal experience with this. But I don't have an answer yet. I think the answer I'm leaning towards right now is just, every now and then buy a bigger card. But for the most part, just try to hunt that cheap stuff that you really, really like. I found it to be rewarding myself. Hopefully you guys feel the same. But that's going to do it for today. A very long video. I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for another video. I promise I'll get one out, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out.